Hello and welcome back to Midnight Grappler Animals. With me, I am your host, Salt. I'm a resurrected crime fighter, and with me I have two supervillains, each wearing their best in fascist garb. Lan, Keigen, how are we today?
You
I'm
got
gonna be
me. I am dressed up as Emperor Tokugawa of
Okay.
Japan.
I'm a Nazi Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, nice. That's hot. That's a good Halloween costume too. Well,
Probably.
grapplers, we did it. We're locked in. We're doing Works of Divorce. This is a recurring series we'll do, and our newest entry is Frank Miller's The Spirit, the adaptation.
Hold on. We're already doing Works of Divorce. I
Honestly.
thought this was a sequel.
It is
It's
also
both.
a sequel. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
many
both.
things. I
It's
think
a-
it's everything. I think
It
it's
really
everything.
is. Yeah.
It's a little bit of what you want. I mean, it's just what were they thinking?
It's also
a
what
little
were
bit
they
of what were they
thinking?
thinking? Yeah. There's even a little bit of didcology here. A little bit of didconomics.
Yeah.
Some of
Yes.
the
Good
tracks
point,
going.
man.
Yeah. This really is like the mother load of sequels and a
Yeah.
prequel at the same time.
It's truly everything. It's the keystone.
Yeah.
I feel like
To
Stefan
everything
right
in the
now.
show.
This
It's
feels
got
like
everything.
a season premiere, but it's not. We're in the middle of sequels week, month, whatever. And this is incredible. I'm so excited.
So we watched The Spirit, the film that Frank Miller adapted from the classic Will Eisner comic. We how'd you like the movie?
I didn't even know it existed until like a week or two ago.
Oh, that's awesome. I think I saw it in theaters, and my dad got
Oh
really
my
angry.
god! Oh my god!
I feel
What?
like a theatrical experience. I would do this. I would if somebody was like putting it on theaters next week, I might go and do it. It's not good. It's psychotic. And I chase that feeling. I chase that feeling 100%.
Yeah, I mean, my inner sicko who loves bad movies enjoyed this.
It's like incomprehensibly awful.
It.
It's incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Holy
yeah.
Terror was what, the same year
Oh my
as this?
god.
Just about, yeah. I mean, it was announced a year before.
Oh,
this,
3
I
years. It
think.
was 3 years after this. But I mean, it might as well have been the
It's
same
of a-
year.
it's
'Cause
of a
You're right. He
kind.
was working on both at the
It's
same time.
So
Yeah.
of a kind. I didn't end up being on the Holy Terror episode, and I've listened to it recently. Like I don't know, it's in September. I was celebrating 9/11, and I was listening to the Holy Terror episode. This
Did
is
you go
so
to an
Holy
Israeli
Terror.
dance club when you were celebrating?
No,
Oh, okay.
no. I don't know. I couldn't find one of those near me.
Not many of those in Atascadero, California, huh?
Yeah, not that I know of.
Before we dive into the film proper, I have three brief subtopics I want to cover. One, the spirit in comics. Do either of you have experience with either the original Will Eisners or other creators who tackled the character in comics?
I've read a bit of the original. Yeah.
Keegan?
I hadn't at all, and I took this as an opportunity to kind of look into it. I am interested in the newer stuff. Dan Schady drew some of some Spirit comics recently that I feel like would be pretty cool. But no, not really. Until like this week.
My dad is a huge fan of the character, so I have a bunch of the 1970s reprints. Yeah, like the pictures you're sharing in the chat. We're gonna get into that. So I was reading these old reprints, and first I want to point out that these comics are really more about Eisner drawing what he wants to vibe with. A lot of them are like slice of life and crime stories. The spirit shows up for often like 2 or 3 pages tops. Sometimes the spirit's not even in the comics because he's just talking about random characters he'll never come back to. There is absolutely
Much like this movie, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's true. There is absolutely a weird racial component in these comics. There's a character called Ebony White who's a really awful blackface
Some
kid.
Crazy work.
Yes, crazy stuff. There's also I was flipping through all these reprints. I mean, these actually might be originals. I don't know, but there's a lot of like anti-Indian racism as well. And if you're saying Indian, what do you mean Indian? I mean both. I mean like indigenous and from India. There was a character called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Rainmaker. He's a alky indigenous guy who can bring the rain.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. I will say for Eisner's sake, like he's a master draftsman. Like he's really good at composing a figure and a page. He can draw anything he wants. He's just also like really racist.
Yeah, I mean, homie was born in 1917.
You know, this comic really is, in the most literal sense, spiritually Israeli.
I mean, honestly,
in the most literal sense, if you're thinking about it.
Even like that aside, this is so clearly also precursor to Miller. Like, I know Miller was loving this book when he was a kid. You could tell he loves. I mean, I like the whole that interview book, right? The Miller Eisner. They're just literally talking. I like looked at that last night too, and just they vibe really well. They get along,
Any gems from those interviews?
I didn't look at a ton of it. I do love that quote that Ramon shared on that Excellent Tayo episode is incredible, of Miller saying that McFarlane is just, he owns the mind of the 14-year-old kid who's carving a swastika into his desk. I love that quote out of there. It's fantastic, but it really is like they're just nerding out over art constantly in that book, and it's cool to see that. But like, I didn't really see anything else that was really deranged. They talk shit about Stan Lee for a while, which is fun, but yeah, it's mostly them just hanging out, at least like the first half of it. But clearly friends. Do you
think he gave him like an A-OK before he died?
He did.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
There you go. There's your segue, I guess.
Yeah.
On the record.
So, there's also an animated adaptation that never got off the ground by Brad Bird. Did you guys watch that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The main part I thought was interesting was it was like predating the Bruce Timm Batman by a decade. Anything else you guys want to say about that?
I mean, the craziest thing was this was, 2 decades before Brad Bird's work at Disney, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's 1980.
Yeah, and I was looking at like how old he would have been there, right? Because he was born in 1957, so that would make him like 23.
Wow, it's a really advanced animation for a 23-year-old.
Incredible work for a 23-year-old. Also incredibly bold.
We'll link it in the show description. It's a pretty compelling animation test. My guess is it didn't get off the ground because they couldn't find financiers for it. Cool. So there's one more thing we'll get into later in the show, but let's dive into the film, The Spirit. I did not bother synopsizing this because this is one of the ultimate examples of things are happening. Instead, I'm just going to hit you guys with a series of questions.
I love it.
All right. Hey, knock it off. I have a puppy, so if I'm just talking,
okay.
I'm talking.
I'll go. I'll leave. I'm good.
All right. So first question. Whoever wants to take the floor first. What did you like in this movie?
There were visuals that were nice.
There were cool looking. I wouldn't say a shot, but there were a lot of cool ideas happening on my television screen.
It really does like I guess the way I'd put it, I guess that you can take this derogatorily, you can take it in a non-derogatory way, is that this really does feel like a film that Frank Miller would make.
Mm-hmm.
To the highest degree, every sense of the term. Like if you think, what would a movie directed and written by Frank Miller look like?
In
It is this
2008.
movie.
In 2008, right?
Post 9/11, post pneumonia,
Post-9/11.
post divorce,
The
pre Holy
Notice
Terror, but also mid Holy Terror.
Yeah. It very much like, you can watch a creator work through shit in real time, right? Like, that's one of the fun things about, and I'm not saying he figured anything out emotionally here. I'm not saying that, but like, whatever his feelings were, Holy Terror and the Spirit go hand in hand with each other. He is saying the same thing across those two works, which
elaborate on that.
It's like there's so many pieces of Holy Terror that are present in the Spirit. It's like you pull the 9/11 out of it mostly, right? I mean, mostly the terrorism, actually, I'll say. That's not really a thing that you're dealing with in the Spirit, and that makes the Spirit so much more toothless also, right? Like, not that Holy Terror is a good it's not saying anything of meaning or of value, right? But like, it does have teeth. It's a horrible work. And the Spirit is like, when you take the horrible work out of Holy Terror, what you have left is still like, what is this? Like, what were you trying to do? Like, it's just a series of scenes that, like, with some compelling action, some cool moments in there, and some fun ideas that are just like stapled together in this bleary, weird looking, nonsensical way.
Yeah, it made me realize that, one of the ways that the market for movies has been broken for a while, even before you get into streaming, is like there's never really been a solid avenue for anthology films, and this could have been really cool as a short film packaged with a bunch of other short films by other directors. Like, if Miller had been limited to 10 minutes, this could have been really sick.
Yeah, no, and that like makes sense. Or I mean, Star Wars Visions is maybe the comparison point I'm jumping to, where it's like you have a bunch of different people with these vastly different ideas of what Star Wars should be, and like you can have that with the Spirit. The Spirit is a thing that, like, not uniquely, but has been pitched and delivered in that way across so many years. That, like, yeah, you totally, if you the spirited it, right, where it's like 8 pages of story at a time, and you just handed 8 pages of, okay, it's not gonna be 8, but like 20 pages of script to a bunch of different directors. This is a way cooler thing that now immediately makes sense too. Like, but instead, like, my big takeaway of this movie is that it's like, it's so incongruous with itself, with especially the tone, where, like, I know Miller can be funny. I know Miller can be funny on purpose. I know he can do that. If he wrote a story right now in 2025, he can be funny on purpose. He could be being funny on purpose. It may not land, but he can do it. I mean,
he
right?
just recently did it in, what was it, Deadpool Batman, or is it Batman Deadpool?
I don't know. I don't read that. Why did you read that?
I mean, you ask good questions, Keigen. I'll give you that.
Okay,
it's
fair. I read things that I shouldn't, and so you can question me when
you know
that
what
comes
kind of
up.
man I am.
It'll come back
around. I know what
around.
kind of man you are.
Yeah, it'll come back around. You deserved me to ask that, and I'll deserve when you ask me too. This is a cornerstone of our friendship.
Exactly.
But no, yeah, like, he can be funny, and it's like this movie sets up jokes and it doesn't ever deliver them, and then it's like,
no, hold on, Keigen.
Okay.
There's one joke it delivers on, but I will come back to that later. You can keep going.
Okay, and that's what I mean, though. You can see where it should have, like, he should have leaned into the, I think I know what you're talking about. That is funny, but anyway, he should have done it more, right? Or he should have leaned into his stupid Frank Miller noir stuff even more. But instead, you have this thing that's like funny unintentionally in some points, and then it's like, I can't take the noir part seriously at all, and either one of those would have been better if he leaned into either one of his what he can actually do, and instead it's just like, and it really is. I think it's a failure of direction because he has a bunch of people who can do all of that stuff working here also, and it feels like a failure of directing where he wrote down what he wanted and he could picture it visually in his head, and he like put those images on the screen pretty competently, and then he didn't know how to get the performances out, I guess is how I feel.
I mean, it's weird because these are all very talented. Well,
yeah, like real actors.
Most are very talented, actors. These are big name actors. You've got Gabriel Macht, the son of Stephen Macht, who we recently covered on Galgameth.
Galgameth.
In terms of like what Gabriel Macht is known for, on top being the son of the guy that played LL in Galgameth, and then second it's playing Harvey Specter in Suits.
What the hell? I did not realize this. That's crazy.
This movie connects to everything.
So
I mean,
things.
you know what they say, her web connects us all.
Yeah. When we say this is a spiritually Israeli product, we also can't forget that this film was financed by a Pritzker.
Oh my God.
What does that mean?
That's crazy.
Like J.B. Pritzker's cousin.
Wait, what?
His cousin is one of the top producers on this movie.
I'm sorry.
The first I'm learning of this.
This is you're hearing this live.
Just to slow down, folks.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is produced by G.G. Pritzker, J.B. Pritzker's cousin.
J.B. Now, what are J.B. Pritzker's takes on Israel?
Oh, he loves Israel. He has like a whole wing dedicated to the IDF in like his museum. He served on like AIPAC or something. He served on some very powerful
AIPAC
Israel
money.
lobbying group. But no, he's like actually like had leadership roles and like big fan of the IDF.
Let me just quote Israel in the Gaza War. Pritzker served on the National Board of AIPAC, pro-Israel lobbying group. Public condemnation of the October 7th attacks. February 2024, Pritzker criticized the Gaza ceasefire resolution passed by Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson and rejected for calls of a permanent ceasefire in Gaza war. Fuck him.
Yep.
Fuck him.
So true.
This movie is this like dark nexus point of all these
horrible
people and causes.
How does this
crazy
happen? It really does have everything. Also, before we move on, because we were talking about the visuals, Bill Pope was the cinematographer.
Bill Pope was the cinematographer.
Bill Pope was the cinematographer on this movie.
What's up with that?
This was 1 year after he did Spider-Man 3 and 2 years before he did Scott Pilgrim.
Damn.
Wait, Oops, all bangers.
Is that young Neil? Is that young Neil? Is Baby the Spirit young Neil?
I don't know what young Neil means.
From Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Now, which one's...
I'm looking it up. We can continue.
Okay.
All right. Before I forget, I said there was one joke in this movie I really liked. And there is a scene where the spirit gets pushed out of a building and his jacket catches on one of those gargoyles. That part wasn't that funny to me. Like, his like clothes are slowly coming off. He looks very buffoonish. What really got me going though was when all the bystanders on the street started egging him on to commit suicide.
Jump.
See, that's a Frank Miller. That's a Frank Miller joke. Like that is a Frank Miller joke.
No, okay, that's not just a Frank Miller joke. That is a prime Frank Miller joke.
Yeah.
Like for a very brief moment, you saw like A1 Frank Miller. Just preening through there.
Okay, there's
jokes. A moment of soul in that one scene. Are there any other jokes that you guys liked?
There's two jokes. One, I think it's funny when Frank Miller gets his head cut off and it's used as a weapon against the spirit.
That was good.
That was good.
And then the nut shot in that same fight was that like bizarre shaped piece of metal. I don't know what that thing was, but it hit the spirit in the nuts, and I thought that was funny. That was fine. It wasn't like hilarious, but it was like, you got hit in the nuts. Yeah, Such as
So
life.
I have a question for you guys, and because this is the question that really haunted me watching this film. There's all kinds of movies I like. I'm a big advocate of movies don't always have to have really deep meanings. Some of my favorite films are very flashy with not that much substance. What I was never able to satisfactorily answer for myself, the reason I'm turning to you, is I would love your opinions on why does this not come together? As in, why, for what is missing in the characterizations, in the whole package? Frank Miller can be really stylish sometimes and not have a lot to say, and it still feels like there's something going on. What makes this one feel so empty and so broken?
I mean, I guess the first place you would look is the other, like, is his directorial debut, basically, which is Sin City, right?
Yeah.
And in many ways, this does feel downstream of Sin City. It tries to replicate a lot of what Sin City did well, right? But without the guiding hand of Robert Rodriguez, it feels hollow. And I think that's the big thing for me, especially, is like going into this, my first thought is, oh, he's trying to redo the lightning of Sin City, right? The movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, it falls flat because it's not just that. This is going to be a very specific reference. It looks like what the fake movie that was in Mr. Bean's Holiday, the one with Willem Dafoe. It doesn't feel like a real movie. It feels like a movie that's made specifically for a gag inside a real movie.
Right.
You know, it's not like quite 30 Rock bit. It's a bit above that. And that's why I say it's like Mr. Bean's Holiday movie inside a movie.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, no. Like, I agree with everything.
I want to go back to you in just a second, Keigen, but that reminded me of something. There are some great performers in this, like we said, and you know, I'm not like a big ScarJo fan, but you know, I've seen her act. She can perform, and it was fascinating watching ScarJo's performance because she's almost got this like hostage look, this embarrassed look. It was so weird watching like a big name.
There are a couple shots where she's just looking into the camera as though she's like, you know, like blinking twice to signal.
and those scenes are so crazy because they feel like YouTube Batman fan films. It's like so surreal seeing an actor of her caliber in a film like that.
Yeah. Actually, Salt, I wanna spin this on you. Actually, the question: how does this compare to Max Landis's work?
Oh.
Wow. So the only Max Landis film I've seen is Chronicle, and I guess if you count his YouTube stuff, I watched that Superman thing.
Right. I think that's what I really want to compare it to. Is the Superman.
Oh, you mean like his recent Superman thing?
Yeah.
It's really similar. That's a great point.
Damn.
Yeah, it is. It is a
shot.
similar like. And then, because it's again, I can only describe it as things are happening. Mm-hmm. Like, there's this very flashy, almost Shakespearean dialogue in both, right? And I don't mean Shakespearean like of that quality. I mean, it aspires to be Shakespearean, right? Yeah, and you know, it's both are filmed in like warehouses, and neither have anything to say. That's what was so odd, because Frank Miller usually has a lot to say. Yeah, I'll keep dwelling on that. Good question.
No, you know what? He has nothing to say is I think there are like three things that are happening in this movie that make it not work. One is he's an incompetent director of humans. Yeah. If he can draw people how he wants them to emote, like he does that, right? He can do that competently, but like actually getting real life, he's like George Lucas. George Lucas doesn't know how to get human beings to do anything. He is on record as saying he would much rather direct cars than humans. And I think Frank Miller is the same way. Like if Frank Miller could just like if he could do a stop motion feature, I think he would be better. He just can't get humans to like do the thing that he wants them to do. But also, I think what he's trying to do with the spirit just like doesn't fundamentally work with what the spirit is, I think. And that's like, I haven't read a lot of the spirit, right? But like, he's trying to daredevilify, he's trying to DKR the spirit, and while also not doing it, because you can tell he has like a real feeling that these things are like these, they are supposed to kind of be approachable. You know, and I know the spirit is like all over the place in terms of like what age ranges is for, right? There are adult spirit comics or ones that were more for adults, and there's like ones for younger ages. So like it's malleable in that way, but like I think it's so far into the noir stuff that Miller wants to do that it becomes a parody of other noir things more than it is the spirit anymore, if that makes sense.
Oh, totally. It does feel like a parody at the worst of times, but again, like a parody without anything to say, a parody without any kind of affection for anything.
And that's the third thing, is that it has nothing to say. Like Frank Miller can be like anti-cop or pro killing cops, whatever he wants to. He can focus in and like do that and frame a thing around at the very least being like, this is how Batman is going to make Gotham safer, right? Like it's a very teenage sensibility that he has, but it like can be cool on a fundamental level, and like it can make sense. But he doesn't have a single thought in this movie about any of that, right? Even like there's a point in the movie where it's just like, okay, Frank Miller hates women and women are evil and they betray people. Also, they're hot, but like they're evil and they betray people. That's true. And then like 5 minutes later, once you get into the third act, that stops happening, which is like fine, but he's not saying anything coherent about any of it. And also, it doesn't actually make sense or line up with the rest of the movie. And it's just like, yeah, you made a series of scenes and like plot wise they go together, but they don't make sense coming after one another.
I think the craziest thing is, even if the messaging of the movie isn't coherent, it doesn't even say anything about his relationship with the spirit. Like again, we talked about, you know, the really friendly nature between Eisner and Miller, right? And Miller clearly grew up on these books, and yet none of that comes across in this movie. You know, like what the spirit actually means.
Where
to
was
Miller,
Ebony White? Huh?
Yeah, where was Ebony? Where was Ebony White?
That's what we need to be asking.
It's really funny you say that, Lan, because I've seen Miller say in multiple places, Eisner at his time was always innovating. That the spirit was about, you know, making the comics form grow. So it would be against the spirit of Will Eisner for me to copy those books. What I had to do was push the character further and push the visuals further, because the spirit is all about something that can, you know, push past the times he's in. I'm roughly quoting, but you get what I'm saying.
But I guess like my counter argument to that is like pushing somewhere into, you know, pushing into something new requires it to come from something, right? This doesn't feel like it's coming from something. Like there's nothing being pushed from, right? This feels like it was just plopped into the ether. Like,
it's so
insane.
Bizarre, like how like tired the dialogue is. Like we're already getting "We're Not So Different, You and I" is like 15 minutes into this thing. That's supposed to be like a third act thing.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. It's
the monologuing was really my favorite part, because that was when I could really see the Frank Miller of it all. Like I could imagine him writing the monologues in, you know, not just, you know, his DKR work, but like specifically Holy Terror. Like some of these monologues really feel like they're right out of Holy Terror. You know, she is mine and I am hers. The city, I.
That's awful. No, you know what? The whole opening sequence is like where the relation is really there with Holy Terror, like all the rooftop jumping, and the raining, and the like the different way he's using. It looks like whiteout over over stuff too.
Shout out to the scene where he dies, where it looks like he just spurted cool. Nut all over him.
It's really cool. I mean, you don't have to hate cum, you know? Like,
no one hates cum. None of us would be here without cum.
Yeah, we're just cum.
Thank you, Keigen. What I want to go back to those fascist uniforms I alluded to. You guys might have different interpretations, but you know, I always go back to that very same quote that you said earlier, Keigen, like where Miller was saying that McFarlane is the guy who draws the Nazi swastika, not for any reason, but just to provoke. And like Miller himself is guilty of that. I mean, guilty is too charged of a word, but he's throwing in this fascist Japanese uniform, this fascist German uniform, and it comes off as so anodyne and sterile. It's like it's just there to shock you, and it's like you're a 50-year-old man. This is the best you can do, and that in itself is a very divorced thing.
Oh.
That's my take. Like that's one of the ways in which like, oh, this is a very divorced movie. Did you guys have anything else you want to say about those weird fascist uniforms he throws in?
What?
Okay, I'm making sure
they
that
cut out for you too,
just
right?
Me. I thought I was hoping it wasn't just me. My internet's been
I was
done.
waiting because
No, I cut out. No, okay. I was asking, is there anything you guys wanted to add about those fascist uniforms he throws in on Samuel Jackson?
Yeah, they're nonsense.
It's nonsense.
So
it's
stupid.
Noise. It's noise.
It's saying nothing at all. Like it sucks. It sucks.
I mean, I'll give him this. You know, dressing up Scarlett Johansson in Japanese garb. Very ahead of the times. Very ahead of the times. What did he know? What did he see?
So there was one more video I wanted you guys to watch along with this movie, and I sent you guys a 20-minute interview with Curtis Sliwa. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
What does that mean, man?
I mean, yeah.
Did you watch 5 minutes of it? What does that mean?
I watched. I was, second screen viewing.
Okay, I watched it all, and it is one of my new favorite videos I've ever watched.
It is incredible. It is so goated interviewing. And in the interest of highly dating this episode, Mamdani did not get a congratulatory call from Cuomo or Adams. But Sliwa did call Mamdani to congratulate.
And that's what's
It's crazy. He's so insane, but somehow he's got like a code of ethics. He's like very chivalrous.
I was talking
insanely
about this.
Evil.
I was talking about this with somebody else recently. And pedophilia aside, okay, because we're not allies with pedophiles, okay. But like,
where is
you could get libertarians up onto your side easier, onto a righteous side, onto a communist side. You could get libertarians easier than you could liberals or like Trump Republicans, the average Trump Republican, right? Because some of them are libertarians who aren't pedophiles, and they could come over. And that's Sliwa. That's him. You know what? He's a principled man. You could get him. You could get him into a big tent. You know.
He is so charming when he's not talking about immigrants. He's so crazy.
When he's not talking about like global jihads threatening New York. He's actually quite an affable guy.
So this interview is amazing, and there's so many parts that I just are really good interviewing. But the one part I keep telling everyone about is when he's talking about rodent control. Shouts, that's a matter dear to my heart. He's talking about how his methods are far more humane than Eric Adams, and he says to the interviewer, and the rats, they have a really good sense of smell, even better than a cat. So if you have a pregnant rat in the mere presence of a cat, that rat will instantly abort its fetus.
Just incredible.
Just amazing mind. Amazing mind on this man.
And then you went and got a dog. You saw that and you went and got a dog.
Okay, well, it's not like you could actually
I will
trust
have you
that's
know,
true.
Dog is not a cat.
He's not trying to forcibly abort a bunch of rats. You know?
Salt took the humane route.
Also, I live in California, which is spiritually Mexican, and I got a Chihuahua. Chihuahuas were bred to hunt rodents, okay? So I have my own little ratter here.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not pivoting to talk about Sliwa because I want to talk about Sliwa, and believe me, I do want to talk about Sliwa. But the reason I bring this up in the context of the spirit is it dawned on me watching this movie that Frank Miller's The Spirit is Curtis Sliwa. He lives with way too many cats. He's a vigilante who respects cops but is not a cop. He's a tough guy who's gotten his ass kicked all the time. He loves the ladies. Ladies love him. He's Curtis Sliwa. He's a vigilante.
Riddled with bullet holes, too.
Riddled with bullets.
Riddled with bullet holes. That's Curtis Sliwa.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I think if Miller had injected more of Sliwa's like mannerisms and insanity, like this could have been a really memorable film.
Yeah.
As it is, as soon as I turned it off, I couldn't even remember what the last half an hour of it was.
If the spirit was like had any real character, then this is not as bad. This is not as boring. Instead, it's just like baffling for reasons that are like
just baffling. You know,
that's my final question to you: is how would you play script doctor to fix this movie? For me, you make him way more Curtis Sliwa. You turn the Sliwa dial up to 11, and you make it a short film. But Keigen, what would your approach be?
Oh my goodness. I mean,
you get to make any spirit movie.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, I know, and now you've infected me with making a secret Sliwa film that has nothing to do with the spirit. That sounds better to me. I mean, I think to do anything with like what exists here is I don't know anything here works, but like I think leaning away from like straight up noir is step one. Now, we're not making a noir the spirit movie, like not straight up and down noir. You know, it's gonna look more like that's kind of a boring comparison, but like Lupin. You know, it's gonna look more like not a heist though, not like thievery, but something more like that. More character, more presence, something close to like that. Still live action. Because I also I think there's fun stuff here in adapting the book and like doing, you know, Miller was making choices visually that he clearly liked from Rodriguez, right? And also like his own sensibilities, like the whiteout stuff and things like that. I don't think all of that is like fundamentally garbage or anything like that. But I think the number one thing is the tone, and if fixing that into more of the fun swashbuckling stuff instead of the just like the parody-esque noir, tighten that up a little bit more, and I think you get a lot better of a movie.
Lan, what's your ideal spirit film?
Bring back Ebony White, but make it woke.
Shouts.
Just make the movie hella woke. You know, just how do you do it? I don't know. Just
real producer mind over here.
Plot twist at the end: Samuel Jackson's octopus is Ebony White.
Oh. Okay.
You know, one other thing I'll say. One other thing I'll say about the visuals of this movie. In that end shot, well, right before the end shot, when Scarlett Johansson's looking at the finger crawling up, you know, in the car mirror, it didn't look like a finger to me.
What?
And I immediately thought of 21 Jump Street. You know, at the very end when they shoot the guy's dick off. So, you know, I think you know, going more gonzo, bring back Ebony White, making him very woke. I think people are willing to accept crazy movies. Doesn't matter if they're completely coherent. Like
Yeah.
The thing is, this came out in the time of Crank and Crank 2.
Yeah.
Right? Very simple plots. Guy has a thing that, he has to keep his heart rate up. It's speed, but with a heart rate and a, boner pills. Right? You just need something like that for the Spirit. And, clearly Frank Miller was not precious about the legacy of the Spirit. And that's fine. Sure. But if you don't care about, sticking to what Will Eisner did, why not just go all the way with it, Well, why stop? Why stop at where you stopped, Frank Miller? Make him divorced.
Make him divorced.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what? I think committing to the horrible women also. Just fully commit. Let them be awful. Like
make Sarah Paulson's character the Sarah Paulson we've all seen on the screen for the past decade.
So true.
Ryan Murphy-ify Miss Dolan.
Yeah.
Yeah, have Sarah Paulson cosplay as Kim Kardashian in this Better Spirit movie.
Yeah. Have Kim Kardashian in a better world. Kim Kardashian would have played Sans Serif.
What? How am I supposed to read what you just said? Just repeat. You're trying to replace her? You're trying to replace the queen? Eva Mendes?
I'm not trying to replace Eva Mendes. I'm just saying.
Are you trying to make the movie worse?
Sometimes things need to get worse before they can get better.
I need you to know what Eva Mendes said about this movie before it was filmed.
Oh.
When she heard Miller announce it, she asked to be in it before the script was written.
Incredible.
And that really
I'm guessing
speaks...
she had seen Sin City, right? And I guess she
Yeah. And that it really speaks to how much, like, the industry, like, and I mean that in every sense, like, producers, trade magazines, like, everyone involved had really gassed up that movie, not realizing that, like, Rodriguez was the real talent there.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, geez, these comic book movies.
Had she not worked with him other than this, since
I don't know if she'd worked with Rodriguez.
No, I guess not.
Eva Mendes?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay.
You want to do a quick perusal through Eva Mendes'?
But what is funny about her filmography is 1 year earlier she had done Ghost Rider, so she was in this rut of, like, really bad superhero movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and she was in Cleaner just the year before with Samuel L. Jackson.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's another, damn.
Well, any final thoughts on The Spirit from either one of you?
She was in Bluey? Sorry.
She's in Bluey? Like
She's
the
in
cartoon?
Bluey. The cartoon Bluey. She was in an episode of Bluey as a yoga instructor.
Okay. I mean, she got babies with Ryan Gosling. So, okay.
She what?
Is she not... Wait a second. Am I confusing people right now?
No, she is right. No, I'm sorry, you are right about her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, a parent has a reason to be on Bluey. I wouldn't be on Bluey.
Fair.
I'll be in, like, a kid's show that I get to wear a costume, a kaiju suit. I'll do that. But I'm not going to be on Bluey. Okay.
You have standards, is what you're saying.
Well, I don't have a reason to be on Bluey. Even if my nieces and nephews were like, you could be, I would be like, no, I don't care. Grow up.
Why, Keigen? Are you above playing bungo on Bluey?
I don't. I don't want to. We don't need to talk about Bluey.
Are you too good to play Mingus?
I was right about Young
Retriever?
Neil. Okay, I was right about Young Neil. He did play the Spirit. He played the same guy who played Young Neil in Scott Pilgrim vs. World. He did play the young version of the Spirit, the youth age.
Oh,
it's pretty recognizable there.
Yeah. Final thoughts on this? The whatchamacallit? The movie, right? The movie that we're talking about. Yeah. Honestly, it's a movie that just left my mind the moment I stopped watching it. That's the issue. Is that, like, I say things about the movie because I wrote things down about the movie. But if you were to stop me on the street and ask me, "Hey, what did you like about The Spirit?" I just keep walking. I just keep walking.
It was amazing to find 5-star reviews on Letterboxd.
There's
it's
5 stars?
Yeah. It's a little bit like just being weird, like for the sake of being weird. Like I actually really like The Spirit.
Yeah, they're not like other
really
girls.
Gonzo. It's awesome.
There's a sequence, like this movie is just full of little sequences that I'm like, oh yeah, okay, like that was fun, and then they're gone immediately, right? And then but you know, he stops the mugger, or the mugger comes up, he's running by the Spirit, and the Spirit punches him, takes the purse, hands the purse to the lady, marry me, and then the reporter pulls up and starts interviewing the Spirit. Like that's funny, that's fun. And like those are the only parts of the movie that ever work. Like every other scene is just, what are we doing here? Remember when she photocopied her ass?
Yes. Speaking of what are we doing here, I should probably wrap it soon. There's some random guys doing really loud yard work outside my place.
Revenge for the mice.
I guess so. That is the show. That's a wrap on another episode of Midnight Grappler Animals. As always, support us by heading over to the patreon.com/Midnight Grappler Animals. Follow us on the socials. We'll have all those in the episode description for you. Support the show however you can, even if it's just a review. We like that too. Before we head out, we got one more quick feature we like to do around here, and it is our Tastemakers Grab Bag. We will tell you what we have been vibing with recently. Lan, you want to go first?
Sure. I rewatched Porco Rosso recently.
Oh.
I like that quite a bit. You know, better a pig than a fascist, they say. And yeah, that's actually all I'm going to recommend for this episode. That's it.
Great. Keigen.
I haven't got to do a lot of anything, so I'm just gonna say NBA League Pass. If you're in the US, I don't know how it works outside of the US, because how else are you gonna watch Nikola Jokic record I think it's a 33, 16, 15 stat line?
The answer is off of Reddit, the way God intended.
No, watch the game. Okay? Watch.
No. I mean, alternative streams.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Found
whatever.
through my friends on Reddit. Yes.
I hate them. They crash every time, and then I can never find the X, and it's on my iPad. I want it on my TV. It's just not. The game's supposed to be on my TV. Okay. So NBA League Pass. That's it. That's all I got.
Cool. Yeah. SPCA. Go adopt a creature. Get 18 of them, like Curtis Sliwa. That's my rec.
Yeah,
so
become
good.
Responsible for the life of another living being.
Yes. We trust you if you listen to this show.
Yeah.
All right. Until then, thanks for listening, and
keep on grappling.
That's the spirit.